I'm very excited to be talking about it here in Chennai, and specifically I'll be talking about APIs. So APIs are the programming interfaces that AIR give you that extend the functionality you normally have with a Flash Player. So things like writing to files, working with local databases, drag and drop functionality, you can all do that with AIR. Well, before that, I'm not a very familiar face here, so some of you might be wondering who I am. So just a few words. I'm a founding partner for Project Cocoon. That's a new project we're starting up in Pondicherry. You'll probably hear more about it later. If you want to know more, you can always contact me or my colleague here. I'm also a freelance Flash platform consultant. That means I do Flash, Flex, Air, Flashlights, pretty much everything that has Flash in the name, I do. And I'm originally based in Belgium, so I come here over quite a lot, so you'll see me both in Europe and in India the coming years. I'm an Adobe community expert. They briefly talked about that this morning. So I'm part of the community Adobe is actively promoting. So any questions or anything you want to talk to Adobe about, I'm a good contact person for you. I'm also a certified instructor, and I've authored a number of books, and my latest one was Object-Oriented ActionScript 3 by Friends of Ed. And I'm not sure if you can easily get it in India, but if you can, please buy it. I'll be a rich man. So, most of you know what AIR is, but I'll just briefly talk to you a little bit about what Adobe says that AIR is. And basically, this is a little bit of a marketing paragraph they always release. And they say it's cross operating system runtime. So that means it runs on Mac, PC, Linux, and it allows you to build desktop applications, so actual applications like you run every day, Word, Excel, that type of thing, but using web technologies, so things you know, Flash, Flex, but also HTML, and that's important to know. You're not limited to just Flash and Flex, you can actually use HTML, JavaScript, Ajax, whatever you like. What I typically say to clients, just to make it a little easier to understand, is that Adobe AIR brings rich internet applications they know from everywhere on the web to your desktop. So actual applications that you can integrate with on user's machine. Now, we've got very limited time, and AIR is quite a big topic, so I limited it to 8 different themes. And these are network monitoring, so detecting if the user is online or offline, whether something has changed in the network availability. Next one is windowing APIs. Because it's a desktop application, you can work with multiple windows. So you're not stuck in the one browser window, you can actually launch windows and give them different layouts. So that's an interesting topic to look at. Next thing, very important, HTML support in AIR. With Flash content, you could put HTML content inside. That's one of the killer features, I think, because you couldn't do that with the Flash player in your browser. File system access, reading, writing, deleting files even. It's a full-fledged native application development environment. So you can do pretty much everything you want on the file system. Including in the upcoming AIR 2, you can launch files. So pretty much everything you want to do, you can do with Adobe AIR. SQLite databases, I won't talk about that a lot because I've got a talk later on where I have 15 minutes to delve into that and show you how to work with local databases. But it's a very interesting topic and it gives you a lot of functionality, especially if you want to do more advanced things with databases and synchronizing to the server back and forth. Drag and drop support, so you can have full drag and drop support from the desktop to AIR applications to other applications, back and forth, so that's completely supported. Clipboard access, you can write things to the system clipboard in any format you want. That could be text, that could be graphics, whatever you like. And then an update API. If you write an application and you distribute it, it's not like you're running it on the web, so the user needs to have the latest version. So you can write some routines in your code that check for the latest version, download it, and install it on top of your current application. So that's something I'll show as well. So those are 8 things I'll try to get through. I've got a few little nice things extra, should I have any time left, which I doubt, but I'll try to show you anyway. Just a little technical overview for those that don't really know what AIR is about. So basically you can create AIR on either of 2 base applications. That could be Swift, Flash content, or that could be HTML. And either of those applications can host the other application. So if you create a Swift-based AIR app, you can have HTML content in there. If you have an HTML-based AIR application, you can have Swift content in there. And those two can talk together. But you have to choose. Either base your application on HTML or you base it on Flash. Each of those two have a SQL layer. That SQL layer is a local database. We'll talk about it later. It's a local database that you can easily set up and store data in and synchronize with servers using lifecycle data service or any other technology you might have. And then there's AIR runtimes, the APIs we'll talk about today. And those are abstracted across all operating systems. So you only have to write your code once. You write the same code for Mac, PC, and Linux. You export it, and you have an AIR file that runs on all these systems. And moving forward, even Adobe is looking at having these AIR files run on smartphones and other mobile devices. So develop once and you can run it everywhere, which is a really big advantage of this technology. Good. So how do you build this? There are a few options, a lot of options actually. You can use commercial tools Adobe has, like Flash Builder 3 or the upcoming Flash Builder. You can use Flash CS3, Flash CS4, or any upcoming Flash versions. You can use Dreamweaver for the HTML-based applications. But you're not limited to that. You could also use whatever text editor you want. If you want, you could create it in Notepad. Because, and that's the important thing, the AIR runtime is completely free of charge. You can download it now, you can play around with it. It's got a command line compiler. So whatever you write your code in doesn't matter. It can be commercial, it can be open source. It could be any tool you want. And you can just use that command line compiler and start making your applications today. So it doesn't cost you anything. You can start right away after this presentation. But I urge you to stick around for the other presentations, of course, but still. Good. First thing,